Once again, we do have programs for today's swine show up here by the announcer stand for anyone that would like one.
That's alright, this is fine. Wasn't it, I bet. Like we're August 1st. Have a good one. Stiggies?
Good, how you doing? Yeah. It was pretty hot.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Dodge County Fair Swine Show. We're so happy to have everyone here this morning. We would like to bring your attention that the Blair radio station is here, 94.7, and they are live streaming the show this morning. So if you have anyone that can't be here in person and would like to watch it, they can go on Blair Radio 94.7 and they can watch it from the comfort of their home or their office. Our judge today is Gary Kubicek from Perth, Nebraska. He's a graduate of UNL with a bachelor's and master's degree in Ag Ed Animal Science. He's been judging county, regional, state, and national shows for over 50 years. He spends his time helping his grandkids show hogs, sheep, goats, and bucket calves. He also enjoys hunting, fishing, and attending Nebraska volleyball and football games. We'd like to welcome Gary to our show this morning. We are going to start with the first call for those senior showmen that are ages 15 to 18 years old as of January 1st. There was a question earlier about the use of clips for your numbers. That is fine. It does say in the rule book that it's supposed to be pinned on your shirt, but the clips are fine. We just ask that if you pin your number to the back of your t-shirt, it is pinned beneath the advertising on there. We have programs here next to the announcer stand in the wooden box to the south of the stand, so help yourself to those. If you happen to find anything that needs to be changed in the program, please let one of our Superintendent Snow. We would like to thank our superintendents for organizing today's show. That is DJ and Mary Jo Reynolds, Josh and Nikki Gregory, Danielle, Amon, and family.
Broke in there.
There is a first call out for those senior showmen.
Pretty upset. That gal was like her cousin. Really? Yeah. They had DNA on
Second and final call, senior showman. Second and final call, senior showman.
We were out there protesting yesterday. The whole town was upset with what going on Thursday. People go there to visit and
Testing.
I'm actually, I set up the work. Oh, you do?
Once again, we are pleased to have Love Radio 94.7 here. They are live streaming our show, so if you have anyone that can't be here today and would like to watch it, they can do that through Blair Radio 94.7. We would also like to thank our arena sponsors for this year's fair. They include Turner's Trucking LLC of Nickerson, Nebraska, Thomas Paddle, Tom and John Weisenkamp, Frontier Cooperative, Darling Ingredients, First Northeast Bank of Nebraska, Sagehorn Seed, John Sagehorn, and Mosman Crop Insurance. We're ready to get our show underway with our senior showmen. These showmen are ages 15 to 18 years old as of January 1st.
Yeah, this is what that's what the whole thing is.
morning. Certainly it's a pleasure to be here this morning and enjoy our beautiful weather that we have. And there's actually looks like a little rain too, so it just makes it a little bit better. What we have here today is senior showmanship, and I think if you're kind of the first time watching the showmanship class, or even if you're a veteran, there's a lot to be learned out here. You have some awfully good showmen out here. They get so many things right for me from the time that out of that pen. I was really, really impressed because every one of you just did an awesome job of driving that pig out, getting it out in the middle of the ring, let me have a look at it, going back, making sure those pens were closed. Just a really super job. And then when they got out here, they continued to try to drive those pigs out in front of me, get me a good look. And I think overall, just an awfully, awfully good group of senior showmen. And I think you should appreciate that very much. Let's give them a round of applause because I think they just did a phenomenal job. Once we got out here, we're going to go with two blues over here, and we're going to go with the purple with this young man. I think, did a good enough job for me as far as trying to get that pig out. The pig doesn't drive quite as quick as I'd like to see it, or get out in the ring and move quite as quick as we'd like to see it, but still does a really nice job, very attentive, really very calm and relaxed, well-trained pig, just an exceptionally good job. And really over here, these two young ladies, I think, just had a little more difficult time as far as getting those pigs out in the ring. They didn't want to respond quite as well as the others did. These four over here will be on purple. We'll bring those back out. We'll talk to those in a little bit.
I love it because every time it's just like Allie.
This will be a first call intermediate showmanship. First call intermediate showmanship. This will be a second and final call for those intermediate showmen. Second and final call, intermediate showmanship.
Well, my congratulations to these four individuals that made it out to the top end. And of course, we'll play a three, but I thought that it was close enough between all these four to go ahead and bring them out and give them another chance to perform a little bit more and maybe get a few pigs out, get a little more space for them. I think as a group, though, I think these are the ones that have the best control of their pigs. I think they did the best job of keeping those pigs moving and getting them out for me to see. I would say one thing, though, I think this is me, and this is my personal preference, and of course judges have their personal preference. I'd like to see those pigs off of me just a little bit more. I think at times, maybe as a group, we got a little bunched up a little more than I'd like to see. That you're right underneath me, but you can get them out a little bit more, and maybe get those pigs, show me a little more. That way it gives you some time to get me some more views of the pig from the front and from the rear. But when you get them bunched up in front of me here, it gets a little more difficult to see those pigs. That's a preference of mine. Some other judges may say, hey, I like them right underneath me and right on, so that I can be right on top of them. But I think all of them basically give that. It's just a little thing that maybe will help you so that you can stand out a little bit more, because when you get out there and get away from the group a little bit, I have a tendency to see that pig a little bit more, and it just hits me a little bit harder. But overall, I think just a great job by all of these. They have great control. The pigs are really well presented. I think in the group you can see all these that they've done some work on that skin and hair, and I think that really helps. It makes your pig look the best that it possibly can, and that's what we're trying to do. So not only get that pig to drive well and get out there and perform well, but also to look good. Again, my congratulations, Reed. To me, I think it's very, very close. I think you can go any way you want on these. To me today, though, as we look at this group here, to me the one that has done the nicest job as far as caught my eye the most, got the pig out there just a little bit more for me to see. I think the one that drives it very well and just keeps it in kind of a constant motion. And ladies, you'll be happy today. Congratulations. The other one, I think, was very similar to the way that she shows, to the way that drives a pig around the ring. The young man out here with the velvet pig, you'll be with you. I think that we get down to the third here. I think they're very, very close. One that's very, very intense and his job, I think, is the one thing that maybe wants to get a little bit howly at times, but he did the best down as far as showing me the most features on the pig. And lady, you'll be third. Congratulations. And this young man is great job.
Our champion senior showman today was the Police Reserve Championship honors went to Chase Hartman, and third place senior showman was Gracie Reynolds. Now entering the arena will be our intermediate showmen. These showmen are ages 12 to 14 years old as of January 1st. As you win awards today, you'll receive a placard to put on your stall so that visitors to the fair will know how your animals did. They ask that those get turned back in on Sunday night at the end of the fair. Once again, the metal signs they would like to have turned in on Sunday as you leave the fair. The Fair Board is also asking that you get the stickers and put those on your stall cards. Once again, so that visitors to the fair know how your animals did at today's show.
In this group here, we're going to go with groups in the center of the ring, and we talked to them about some of the things they could do, and as far as improving. And some of those things is maybe just getting the scrub brush out and clean up a little bit more on some of these that will help. Some of them, the pigs want to get along the fence a little quicker, and they told them to get that big turn before he gets to the side of the fence. And I think it's one of the problems that I think we see in a lot of the younger showmen, the less experienced ones, is that they'll let the pig lead them more than they're driving the pig, and they just need to get out there a little quicker and get that big turn and get back into the center of the ring. And just some of the things that we told them that they can improve on, but I still think a nice group of brewers, so let's give them a round of applause. They go out and we'll play some nice group.
This will be a first call, junior showman. First call, junior showman. Once again, we do have programs up here just to the south of the announcer stand on the lower shelf for anyone that would need one.
Like this year.
This will be a second and final call, Junior Showman. Second and final call, Junior Showman.
Well, yeah, good. I don't know.
Just an excellent group of intermediates here with these three. They're so similar in the way they show and the way they control their project. I think just do an awfully good job with them. I like the way they try to get those pigs out away from me. They probably, they must have listened to me on seniors, because they get them out just a little bit farther out, and I like that. It gives me a better chance of seeing these animals and seeing the way they move. I think these three individuals did a very good job of that. They also, at times, each one of these gave me some different looks as far as front views and rear views, and we like seeing those types of things. You know, as a judge, yes, you can walk around and you can see those things, but when you've got showmen that'll present their animal and show all the positive features about them, because they all have some positive features, and that's what you want to do, and these individuals did an excellent job with that. All the skin and hair is excellent on these. You can tell that they've done some work with it to get them presented well. I think that definitely helps them to make them look better, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think as we look at these, they did an excellent job of that. That's what helped them to come to the top also. Again, my congratulations to these. I think today, as I felt, was real close. But the one that I really liked, the way that this individual shows as far as getting the pig out, very smooth, very calm and relaxed, yet still very attentive and still very professional in the way to get that pig out and get it presented to me. Young lady, you'll be my champion. But they're the one that's similar to the type of showman that I like to see, in the way that they drove this pig around and got in front of me. Very relaxed type of showman. I really like that about it. You know, and sometimes we're maybe a little more aggressive in the way we show it. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's just on the way that you handle that. But the one that I think is very similar, very close to our champion, young lady, will be my congratulations. Young man does an exceptionally good job. He's probably a little more aggressive with his whip and the way he gets the pig around the ring, but still does a good job with it. And that pig responds to him that way. You can tell that he spent a lot of time working with this animal to present it. Nice job. Congratulations to him. Another round of applause for this kid. Great job.
Our champion intermediate showman was Leah Hartman. Reserve championship honors went to Kaylee Gregory, and third place intermediate showman was Owen Gregory. Receiving purples in intermediate showmanship, Kaylee Gregory, Owen Gregory, Leah Hartman. Receiving blue ribbons, William Faust, Kinley Model, Grayson Model, and Adelaide Ewing. Now entering the arena will be our junior showmen. They are ages 8 to 11 years old as of January 1st. Once again, if you have someone that couldn't make it to the show today but would like to watch it, Blair Radio 4.7 is live streaming all of our shows from the Dodge County Fair this year. So just let friends and family that would like to watch it live know, and they can watch it from the comfort of their home. We would like to thank Pebble Creek Village Thrift and Elkhorn River Coffee for providing the donuts and coffee this morning. There are still donuts and coffee and juice left for anyone that needs breakfast yet. Help yourself. They're on the north end of the show arena, right behind the bleachers. So once again, thank you to Pebble Creek Village Thrift and Elkhorn River Coffee for supplying this morning's rolls and coffee.
In this group here, we've got our purples that we're going to look for your top 3 individuals. We're going to go with one purple out here with the in the center, and the others will be blues. We talked to them about some of the things they can improve on. I think they've got some good things about them. I think they've got a great attitude out here. They've got a good work ethic out here. It's just that Pigs didn't work quite as well. Our purple really showing. Unfortunately, Pig had an attitude coming out of the pen and wanted to fight from the beginning and made it a little difficult for him to get it out and center as much as possible, but still did a nice job working with what he had. The others out here, I think, as we talked about, just those big down the singularity a little bit more. We made some comments to them what they can improve on. Let's give them a round of applause and we'll work these forward.
First call, Clover Kids. First call, Clover Kids. First call, Clover Kids Showmanship. First call, Clover Kids Showmanship.
please give these young people a round of applause for doing a really, really good job out here in the purple with the group. As we look at these, there's a couple things that I really was impressed with, the way these young people tried to give me some different looks of their pay when they drove it out from the side profile and then also coming at me and going away from me. You can tell that these individuals have had a lot of training and a lot of support on what the right things to do, and I appreciate that in the way that they've done that. Yes, as we look at this here, we see some differences in them and maybe some things that they can improve on, but overall, just a really, really solid group of junior showmen here. The one individual, Dave, that I really like the way this individual shows. I like the way it moves around the ring. I think this does an extremely good job of showing a lot of different views. Dick's very well presented like all the other three in the group. Today for my champion, Dijon Battleby. From there, I think one that's similar in the way that he shows to our champion here. I think in this group, as we look at these, I think the other individual is very focused, great eye contact, very serious in the way that they show. I think you appreciate that. I think one that, again, does a nice job of giving me a lot of different views, and I like the movement, the way this individual goes around the ring. Man, he'll be my reserve champion. Young lady, you're going to be my third place champion. I really like this young lady, the way she works with her peg. She's actually part of her peg. She's always right there, knows where the peg is, knows where to use that whip, knows where to drive it. The peg doesn't want to probably move out quite as quick as maybe the other two above, but still does a really, really good job. And our fourth place showman here, I think one where the peg just didn't work quite as well as he'd like, but those are some things that you work on, and the next time, that peg may just keep driving out the center, but still an awfully good group. Nice job. Another round of applause. Great group.
Second and final call, Clover Kids Showman. Second and final call, Clover Kids Showman. Our champion junior showman for today's show was Mason Hazeman. Reserve championship honors went to Braden Shapersman. Third place junior showman was Dawson Hazeman. Receiving purple ribbons were Mason Dostal, Mason Hazeman, Dawson Hazeman, Mason Clokey, Braden Shapersman. Receiving blue ribbons were Hayden Clokey, Harper Von Zagren, Amos Von Zagren. Now entering the arena will be our Clover Kids. Clover Kids, this is a non-competitive class. These are exhibitors that are ages 5 to 7 years old as of January 1st. These exhibitors will earn a rainbow ribbon as well as a feed bucket courtesy of Tractor Supply of Fremont. Harris Von Zagren, if you are showing in Clover Kids, if you could please come to the arena. Harris Von Zagren, if you are showing in Clover Kids, if you could please come to the arena.
What's your name? Mike. Oh, Riker. Yeah, spell it for me. I'd like to know it. R-Y-K-E-R. Is that right? Are you sure? Who taught you? Nobody. Oh, you just learned on your own, huh? Oh, I see. I bet you're probably pretty smart if you can spell your name like that, aren't you? Who's the smartest in your family?
I got all
Your sister, huh? Oh, mom and dad got pushed out, huh? Well, now we're going to throw everybody in there now. That's not right. You're politically correct. I think you need to run for office someday. I'll tell you what, you've got the answer on this. Big thing. Oh, you're just following it, huh? Well, you're doing a good job following it, Riker. Oh, blowing. Oh, you're borrowing. I see. Yes, you can tell me her name. I don't know why you come up with Dumpling, but it's a good name in my book. Well, thank you, Riker. Let's give Riker a round of applause. He's doing a nice job. What's your name? Oh, what's your name? Millie. You know, we got all of my granddaughter shows, and she named is Millie too. What's your popular name? What's your name? Is this your first time showing? Your second time? Well, how to show like this? Your parents did. Are they the smartest ones in your family? Yes, they are. You got that down pat, don't you? I bet your sister would help them too. I figured that too. Are you having fun out here? All right. Who's here watching you today? Friends and family. Where are they at? Where are they at? There they, oh, we got to wave to them, don't we? We got to wave to friends and family. It's not very friendly. Well, you're sure doing a good job. Let's give her a round of applause. Nice job. I get it, man. What's your name? Skylar. Is this your first time showing? That's your sister. Oh, you're right. Did you teach him how to show? No? Where do you go to school at? Logan, you. Are you the smartest one in your class? You don't know? Oh, you're our passion, aren't you? Passion, aren't you? You get good grades? Oh, we'll say you're the smartest one in your class. Who's here watching you today? Your family friends, they are. Where are they at? Oh, there's some. Oh, we got some waving over there. We got the pictures going now, the video, don't we? Oh, and your cousins too, huh? Where are they at? They here? There. Oh, there they are, the cousins. All right. Well, you're doing a nice job, guys. Thank you for coming. Let's give her a round of applause. We didn't forget you. What's your name? How old are you? What, did you just have a birthday? Did you get a lot of neat presents? Did you get good birthday cake? Who made your cake? Oh no, huh? You just showed up on the doorstep, huh? That's all right. But at least you have one more candle this year. Who taught you how to sew? Your brother did. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I've seen this picture before, that's why. Where did you go to school at? Oh, good view too. Well, you're doing a really nice job. Who's here watching you today? Where they at? Where they at? There they are. They're waving. You gotta wave at them. See, you gotta thank them for coming. You know, they're having a lot of fun watching this. You're doing a good job, buddy. Well,
First call, Class 1 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. First call, Class 1 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. Our Clover kids today received a rainbow ribbon and a feed bucket courtesy of Tractor Supply in Fremont. Second call, Class 1 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. First call, Class 2 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. First call, Class 2 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. Now entering into the arena is our Class 1 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. Second and final call, Class 2 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds. Second and final call, Class 2 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guilds.
First class of Super Breeding Guild on these two girls. So we're going to go over the young guild over here to my left. I think here just a bigger features, kind of female. I think one that's shouter made. She's really good on the way she tracks around the ring. I think one that's heavier structured. I think one that's just a little bit more dimensional than for us. And, you know, a bigger stall type of one. And I really like how long hips she is and the way she tracks off those backs too. The one in second here will be also purple. They'll be a reserve champion. I think one that's not as big featured as the one we started with. I think one that is sound enough to the way it moves around the ring. Maybe not as fluid off those back two as the one we started with. Maybe a little shorter than his hip. But I still think it's sound enough to stay up in that purple ribbon group. Still wide enough base. It's not as big featured as the one we started with. Two more skills. Congratulations to these. Just give them a round of applause.
Top purple went to Adelaide Ewing. Second purple went to Gracie Reynolds. Now in the arena is our Class 2 Division 1 Registered Breeding Guild. This will be a first call for Class 3 Division 1 Crossbred Breeding Guild. First call, Class 3 Division 1 Crossbred Breeding Guild. There are still some donuts and coffee available at the north end of the show arena for anyone that would like those. We'd like to thank Pebble Creek Thrift Store here in Scribner, as well as the Elkhorn River Coffee Shop that's here in Scribner for providing those today.
Start over the purple on this Hampfield. I think we like a lot of things about it. Really super one of those. She's big top. She's got enough ribs with her. She's got enough production to her. she's really changed for us. She's probably not as big as all these sons as we like, but I mean, you know, for me, I think one of you really appreciate the attention she has. Yeah, she gets a little tight off the back too, and I can correct her on that right side and run her on just a tick and stretch her out in that hip a little more. But I think one is overall, she's really complete her design. So you're purple, so you're champion outside.
Receiving top purple in Class 2 was winning by Happy. This is the second final call for that Class 3 Division 1 crossbred breeding guild. Second final call, Class 3 Division 1 crossbred breeding guild. Currently in the arena, we will be choosing our champion and reserve champion registered breeding guild. Also today we have the dog show at the auditorium. Livestock judging contest, you may check in from 12 to 1:30. And the livestock judging contest will take place at 2 p.m. here in the arena. Containing animal show, it takes place at 1:30.
And let's give these young people a round of applause. This will be for your purebred camp and reserve breeding guild. I think these individuals here that we have our champion half and then champion Duroc. I think if you look at these two, they're really a little different type. I think the half is really wide nose, big top, got plenty of muscle to it, more expressive in his muscle than the Duroc is. But here you have a real athletic gilt. I think one that just moves around extremely well for me. I think one that's heavy boned. I think one that's sound in the way she moves off those back two. I think one though that probably doesn't have the big square top in it that we see in maybe a half of it. I just really like the soundness and the structure, the underlying of the Duroc will be champion. Great. Congratulations to somebody. I think from there, then we have our second place Duroc out here. We get to comparing it with our halves. And well, no, not one that's as massive as a half is. I think one, though, that young lady does a great job of getting everything out of this. Maybe as far as got some extension to its front end. I think one that's wide enough base, but still not as massive as a half. I think it's dimensional. To me today, I think the one that most closely follows our top one is a half. It'll be our reserve today. Congratulations.
Our champion registered breeding guild was shown by Adelaide Ewing. Reserve championship honors went to Linda Happy. Now entering the arena will be Class 3 Division 1 crossbred breeding guilds. This will be a first call for Class 4 Division 2 crossbred breeding guild. First call, Class 4 Division 2 crossbred breeding guild. Entering the arena is our Class 3 Division 1 crossbred breeding guilds. Don't forget, tonight is our big concert with Sammy Kershaw, so make sure you make it back to the fair for that. There's lots of great food choices on the grounds this year, as well. Inside the exhibit hall is also the Nips, who are serving some lunch deals and drinks and coffee as well. Second and final call, Class 4 Division 2 crossbred breeding gilt. Second and final call, Class 4 Division 2 crossbred breeding gilt.
In this class, we see some differences as far as maturity and age, I think, in the group, but I think a nice enough group, though, to go ahead and sort through. We're going to go and start with this white velvet gilt going across the center of the ring. Here's a really long spine, really extended, kind of thick in the class. I think one is a heavier structure of one that the others in the class. You appreciate that. One that you have muscle and one that's shaped to her. I think if you look at her, but she does have some rib shape to her. She's got dropped down and flank nicely for it. She's good in her underline. Awfully nice one to start with. The other one that follows up with her, I think here's one that's really similar in design. I really like the way this one balances up. I really like her in the lines and the extension. She's an awfully nice female. Probably not quite as much as we have the one we started with. Maybe a little flat on the forward than what we see in all we started with. Maybe not as wide base, but still an awfully nice one to be second in this class. The third purple is the young lady out in the center of the ring here. More of a smaller, shorter package than what we have in the other two. One that doesn't have the extension or the length of back to it as you see in the other two. But still one that's just right. It's still one that's very productive. The other velvet pig here, one that I just like to see this one track off those back legs a little bit better for us. We want to drop down that top line a little more. But still one that has enough production, has enough muscle to it to go ahead and stay up in that blue ring through. Congratulations to these. Let's get them around the applause. Nice job.
Top purple went to Chase Portman. Second purple was received by Gracie Reynolds. Also receiving a purple ribbon was Liddell Hartman, and receiving a blue ribbon was Brooke Weiss. Now in the arena will be our Class 4 Division 2 crossbred breeding gilts. At the conclusion of Class 4, we will be choosing our champion and reserve champion crossbred breeding gilts. At the conclusion of that, we will be choosing our Supreme and Reserve Supreme Champion breeding gilt of today's show. At that time, we will need Adelaide Ewing and Lane Mahaffey back with their Champion and Reserve Champion registered breeding gilts.
excellent group of gilts in this class. We're going to go all purples on these. I think there's enough quality and depth of quality in these to go up in that top end. We're going to start with the young ladies taking the center ring. I think favorite gilt that puts together a lot of the things that we're looking for. Really good for his front end. I think one that comes on his top line really neat from his blades into his top. I think one that's really dimensional throughout, really big rib, really productive. I think he's an excellent underlying on this female. I like the way she tracks off both hands and still has some structure to her. An awfully nice one to start with. Run second with the one here. I think here's one that's a little shorter back than the one we started with. I think one that is very similar in the overall profile and design. I think one that maybe not as cool headed as the one we started with, but I think still picking up stalls, still good in his design, got some rib shapes, got some production to it. An awfully nice one to go in second in this class. And third in the class, and we'll go with the one here closest to me. One that's very similar to the others as far as overall mass, and probably the heaviest muscle one if you're looking for one that's got the most muscle to it, got the most shape, really big hip, dimensional. I think one that gets a little shorter stride, gets a little bit tighter on both ends than what we see in the other two above it, but still an awfully good one in third. The one that we've got here, I think one that gets a little more rounder in his muscle, gets a little bit coarser up through his front end, maybe than the other, but still really good female. She tracks along very well for me. I think one that's still good enough sided. Maybe one that gets a little shorter hip than the others, but still an awfully good one in the fourth hole. Really nice group. Fourth hole.
Not too bad yourself.
Top purple went to Leo Hartman. Second purple to Gracie Reynolds. Also receiving purple ribbons for Owen Gregory and Mason Hazeman. If we could have Adelaide Louie with her champion registered breeding gilt and Lynn Mahaffey with his reserve champion registered breeding gilt, report back to the show arena.
All right. Oh,
Two offensive crossbred in this class, and definitely there was differences as far as size and maturity on the two. I think the one that really comes to the top for me is the young lady's gilt. I think this is an awfully good crossbred female. I just like so many things about her. I think she's big ribs, she's heavy structure. She really moves around the ring extremely well. She's good front end, she's square-legged. An awfully nice one to start with. She'll be the champion crossbred. We're going to have second out of that class.
Once again, if we could have Adelaide Louie and Lynn Mahaffey with their champion and reserve champion registered breeding gilts to report back to the show arena.
I think we bring second out of that class into the ring. I think one that's similar in its design is the one that we started with. As we compare the two that are out here, though, I think this one here just has more rib shape. I think one that's a little wider base. I think one that's actually got more maturity to it maybe than our other one does. Still that one that still has enough base width, top foot, a lot of production. He'll be my reserve champion.
Our champion crossbred breeding gilt was shown by Leo Hartman. Reserve championship crossbred breeding gilt honors went to Gracie Reynolds. We will now be choosing our supreme champion and reserve supreme champion breeding gilt for today's show. You're going to go ahead and do a first call for Class 5 Division 1 and Class 6 Division 1. First call, Class 5 Division 1 and Class 6 Division 1. we're going to do a first call for Class 7. So there's a first call out for Class 5, Division 1, purebred market gilts. Class 6, Division 1, purebred market gilts. And Class 7, Division 1, purebred market gilts.
As we come out for your Supreme Champion with your purebred and your crossbred, I think both excellent representatives of both the divisions with your shred hog. I think, again, we talked about it, how flexible and how sound it is, how athletic it is, the way it moves around the ring. One that probably doesn't get his head up quite as much, but still enough tall frontage and kind of a female. I think one that's really sound. I like a lot of things about that one. If we look at the crossbred, I think here's one that we talked about just recently. Here's the big rib, really wide chest, but really one that's really dimensional throughout. I think one that's also very sound in the way it moves around the ring. The crossbred will be the Supreme Champion today.
Our Supreme Champion breeding gilts of today's show was shown by Leo Hartman. We will now be choosing our reserve Supreme Champion breeding gilt. There's a second call out for Class 5, Division 1, Class 6, Division 1, and Class 7, Division 1. Second call, Class 5, Division 1, Class 6, Division 1, and Class 7, Division 1.
We just talked about this heritage recently, and we talked about how similar this one is a design for a champion crossbred, big rib, a lot of production is done given over to the championship.
Our reserve Supreme Champion breeding gilt for today's show was shown by Gracie Reynolds.
We're going to go with the purple on this first. I think here's one you really like how one basically is coming at you, going away, and one that's got tremendous amount of rib shape and production in it. We'd like to see it track off those back legs just a little bit sounder for us today, but still one that's still often good for the breed. Congratulations. This will be the first purple. Yeah, the first.
There is a second and final call out for that Class 7 Division 1 purebred market gilts. Second call, Class 7 Division 1 purebred market gilts. Currently in the arena is our Class 6 Division 1 purebred market gilts.
Let's go with the purple on this line, so the champion female, I think one that's got enough muscle to it, probably doesn't balance up quite as well as maybe we see in some others, but still one that's good enough and it's designed, big hip, wide enough base. It'll be her first purple champion Durant, Margaret Gill. Congratulations, ladies. Let's give her a round of applause. Thanks, all.
Receiving in purple from Class 6 Division 1 was Quinlan Model. Now entering the arena will be our Class 7 Division 1 Purebred Market Gilts. First call, Class 8, Division 1 Market Gilts, weighing 182 to 221 pounds. First call, Class 8, Division 1 Market Gilts, weighing 182 to 221 pounds.
Was the first purple and be the champion spot today in the purebred division. I think here's one that's super big top. I think wide base, I appreciate that. Still has some great shape production to it. Got down in that flank nicely for me. I think one that's sound enough for me. Maybe a little tighter off both ends than maybe some others that we've seen, but still one that still has a lot of overall mass and dimension. Just a little short, little crest here up top, but still an awfully nice one to go in your first purple champion. Congratulations.
Receiving in purple in Class 7 with his spot was Lane Happy. We will now be choosing our champion purebred and reserve champion purebred Market Gilt of today's show. This is the second and final call for Class 8 Division 1 Market Gilts, weighing 182 to 201 pounds. Once again, that's a second and final call for Class 8 Division 1 Market Gilts, weighing 182 to 201 pounds.
I think as we look at these three individuals that come out from each of the breeds, I think definitely you see some differences in them as far as the breeds go. But I think definitely representative enough to go into this championship drive. To me today, the one that kind of puts together some overall mass and dimension and volume, really just stretch down his top. I think one that you appreciate that, will be your spot. You'll be my champion today. From there, we definitely see some differences in the Burke and the Red Hog. I think here's this Duroc is, big frame, big bone, kind of a female. One that gets a little flatter rib, a little bit shallower throughout. One that doesn't tie together from its blazes to its top line quite as well as we'd like to see. We take the Burke here. I think one that's really, the other one who's got some mass and dimension to it. I think she's clean up front it. I think one that you appreciate that in it, still has some production to it. Sure, I'd like to give her a little more bone and stouten up a little bit. She'll be my reserve champion today.
Champion purebred Market Gilt today was shown by Lane Mahaffey. Our reserve champion purebred Market Gilt was shown by Brooke Louise. Now entering the arena will be our Class 8 Division Division I market gilts that weigh 182 to 201 pounds. Once again, entering the arena is Class 8 Division I market gilts weighing 182 to 201 pounds. This is a first call, Class 9 Division I market gilts weighing 212 to 221 pounds. First call, Class 9 Division I market gilts weighing 212 to 221 pounds. Second and final call, Class 9 Division I market gilts weighing 212 to 221 pounds. Second and final call, Class 9 Division I market gilts weighing 212 to 221 pounds.
We're going to go with 2 purple, 2 blues, starting off with the gilt here, the soft velvet one, in the center of the ring that the young ladies try it. I think here's one really good through his front end, big enough skull. I think one that could really explode after that top in his blades, and he's really super square in his overall makeup. Yeah, he wants to get outside himself, just a tick on that right rear, and hopefully that, you know, that can be under control, and maybe she just stretched it out a little bit coming in, but still sound enough for me to go ahead and start with an awfully nice one to go at the top of his class. And second will be the young man here to my left, is in the 168. I think here's one. The other one's got some muscle to it, got some base width. Yeah, it gets a little bit straighter up its front end, and also his rear gets a little bit tighter up in the hip. That's what we'd like to see, but I think it's the one that has the overall mass of the engine to go up in the second hole in this group. The blues, I think here's one that's a really fresh made kind of a deal. I think it's one that's really designed. Again, probably not as much product in this one as the other two. And then one on the far side, I think here's one, if we could just put a touch more muscle into this one, we could go ahead and move it up. Congratulations, please.
Top purple went to Leah Hartman. Second purple to William Faust. Receiving blue ribbons were William Faust and Amos von Zagren. Now entering the arena will be Class 9 Division I market gilts that weigh 212 to 221 pounds. Entering the arena will be Class 9 Division I market gilts weighing 212 to 221 pounds. In our Class 8, top purple went to Leah Hartman, second purple went to Will Faust. Receiving blues were William Faust and Amos von Zagren. At the conclusion of Class 9, we will choose our champion and reserve champion market gilt from Class 1, Division 1.
Yeah, well, when you got pins that grade one and grade
First call, Class 10, Division 2, market gilt, weighing 234 to 245 pounds. First call, Class 10, Division 2.
In this lightweight class, of course, we're going to see some differences in these and their development. And of course, we can project out, so, what's going to turn out or what we think will turn out. And really, as we look at these today, they all need more time for them. The one we're going to start with is the one we're driving on the far side that really does a nice job of getting this paid out, getting his head out, and really presenting it. I think here's one that I think one of the soundest structured ones in here, one of the heavier structured ones in here. Really good to his design and to his front end and to his outline. Is up and one that moves around the ring very well for me. Sure, I'd like to get a little more ridge shape. I'd like to fill it out a little bit more. But I think at the time that'll probably come, but I think today there's enough there to go ahead and rise up to the top of it. The spotter going on the far side of the man tried over the center of his back. Really good in his overall design and profile, really complete his overall makeup. Maybe not as shapely in his top that we see in the one that we started with, maybe not quite as heavy structured, but still an awfully nice one to go in second. And third, we're going to go with this velvet, off-velvet crazy one. I really like the front one-third on this one. I think I like the way it reaches out and when it walks. Where I have a problem with is on that back one-third. I think here's one that just needs to track a little bit more athletic on those back legs, drive off a little bit better for me. One that must be low to his top zone with the way it walks around the ring. But still, I don't think much on the difference there in the purple. The black big here, I think here's one that's really fresh in its makeup. I think one that he wants to run a little bit more. It's getting a little hollowed out for us. If we can get a little more fill on that one, we can go ahead and get it moved up in the purple ring. Congratulations to DJ Block. Let's give them a round of applause. Nice job.
Top purple from Class 9 was received by Dawson Hastings. Second purple went to Marcus Faust. Also receiving a purple ribbon was Brooke Weiss, and receiving blue was Parker Von Fagan. We will now be choosing our champion and reserve champion Division 1 market gilt. For that, we have Leah Hartman from Class 8 and Will Faust from Class 8. From Class 9, we'll have Dawson Haseman and Marcus Faust. This will be a second final call for Class 10 Division 2 market gilt, weighing 234 to 245 pounds.
No, I had LASIK. I got even we're gonna have the same time. In the last, like within a month, she actually went back down. We got glasses. They put right contacts, but they got stuck in the eye. It was like Friday night trying to get it out. So he actually ended up scratched her eye, and then went Monday and had to pull it out. It's like, I'm done with contact. I'll just quit. I'm good.
As we bring out these two lightweights here, I think 2-1 that I think come to the top of this class very easily for me. I like both of these. I think they've got a lot of good things for them. I think as we look at the ones coming out of that first class, I think here's one as we talked about, really wide base, really dimensional. I think really good enough to his front end, really squared on his top. Yeah, it doesn't track out on those back legs quite as square as we'd like to see. Maybe not as heavy structure as the one we had to come out of the second class. The one we got in the second class, a really long spine, really level design one, big in his forearm, just huge pipe underneath it. I think one that you appreciate all those things in it. No, it probably does not quite the feel that we'd like to see on it today, but still, I think good enough for me that the young lady still was your champion of your lightweight division.
Our champion Market Gill from Division 1 was Dawson Hazeman. We'll now choose our reserve champion.
As we went second, out of that class into the ring, I think here's one just a little bigger frame type of a female that maybe the other one that we've got out here. I think one is tall from it, really level enough design. I think one is a little bit stouter maybe than the one we had out in the first class. Of course, there's more maturity in it too, and of course you can see it becomes very close as far as between the two. Yes, I'd like to put a bit more dimension behind this, and we open up this just a little bit more from behind, a little more rib shape. But I think one that has enough overall product in it. I think one that's stout enough features that'll be the reserve champion on this product.
Receiving reserve champion Market Gill out of Division 1 was Marcus Faust. Now entering the arena will be our Class 10 Division 2 Market Gill. These gills weigh from 234 to 245 pounds. This will be a first call for Class 11 Division 2 Market Gills. First call, Class 11 Division 2 Market Gills, weighing 250 to 266 pounds. This is a second and final call. Class 11, Division 2, Marvin Gilks, weighing 250 to 266 pounds. Second and final call, Class 11, Division 2.
In this class, we have one guilt that comes out here with just a tremendous amount of mass and dimension and base width to it that she would appreciate on it. Maybe gets a little coarser up to the front end and through the sit area, but I think one that just overpowers everything else in here, still freshen up in its overall makeup. And second will be the one right behind it, this velvet one. I think here's the one that you appreciate for its running one third. I think one that's really fresh in its makeup, really comes out really glazed, very nice and tight. It puts top line extremely well. Still has to carry that thickness all the way back. And probably gets a little straighter off that back hip and hop, but I think one is still sound enough to go up in that second hole. We're going to go with blues with these two, and really the big thing about them is they just need more time. They need more build for them. They need to fill that a little bit more. I think they're good enough design. I think they're sound enough to go ahead and have blue and blue to just give them a little more time to develop. Congratulations to these as they go out.
Okay, sounds good.
This is the first call, Class 12, Division 3, Market Guild, weighing 268 to 284. First call, Class 12. At the conclusion of Class 11, we will be choosing our champion and reserve champion Market Guild from Division 2. Second and final call, Class 12, Division 3, Market Guild. Second and final call, Class 12, Division 3, Market Guild.
Three circles is the school and one blue, we're going to start with Emily on the far side. I think here's one that's really opened up coming at you. Big top, particularly one that you really appreciate. You still good through that front end with carrying all that base width and dimension. You get behind her, just a big hip there, and just huge going underneath this female. Nothing like that. Second, we're going with the white velvet shape here. I really like the front end on this one. I like how full age here. Maybe a little more descriptive in her muscling down the top. One that's a little bit cooler fronted, but I think one that probably doesn't have the base width that we see or the drawing that we see in the one we started with. And third with the, where's the control? That's my first place. Go up. Okay. Anyways, the one in third, there she is. I'm sorry. The third place one here is an unawfully nice skill. I think just not as much tour as the other two above it, maybe not as maturity as the other two above it, but still one that's put together and strengthened well. I like the way she moves around the ring, a lot of production to it. Spotted up figure, I think, is one that maybe doesn't balance up as well. Maybe not as good in his line, maybe it's a little narrower skull than what we see the others, but still there's enough product there, there's enough hip, there's enough base width to stand out blue ribbon too. Congratulations to you.
Top purple was received by Kaylee Gregory. Second purple went to Chase Hartman. Also receiving a purple ribbon was Brooke Weiss, and receiving a blue ribbon was Mason Dostal. We'll now be choosing our champion and reserve champion guilt from Division 2 for today's show. There is that second and final call out for Class 12, Division 3. Don't forget to get together a team and sign up for today's livestock judging contest. Sign up begins at noon and goes till 1:30 with the competition starting at 2 p.m. in the Livestock Show Arena. So make sure you get your livestock judging team together and come on out now this afternoon. The companion animal show starts in the auditorium at 1:30 p.m. today.
As we get into our division champion here, I think as you look at this team, definitely some differences as far as age and maturity. maturity on these two in development. And I think too that are really put together extremely well. I like the design of those. And when you bring out that white gilt that first class, she comes out, she's very athletic. I really like the way she moves around the ring and off the good way. Maybe not as much to her as maybe as I want to come out of the second class, but I think that's just time and maturity. She's awfully good in the makeup. I think as we look at the one that come out of the second class, there's really one that's taller up front. I think there's one that's really super wide base, big in his forearm. I think one that's super heavy bone. She'll be my champion in this division. Congratulations.
Our champion market for Division 2 is shown by Kaylee Gregory.
I think as we bring second out of that class, I think here's one that shows us a lot of production with her wood shape. It drops down her flank extremely well. Still another really heavy bone one. And definitely one that's got a little more maturity on it. Maybe built in that hammer junction just a little bit neater than our white tape, but I think both very excellent. Campaign, you'll be my reserve champion.
Our reserve champion market gilt from Division 2 was shown by Chase Hartman. Now entering the arena will be our Class 12 Division 3 market gilts weighing 268 to 284 pounds. Once again, entering the arena will be our Class 12 Division 3 market gilts weighing 268 to 284 pounds. This will be your first call for Class 13 Division 3 market gilts weighing 303 to 314 pounds. First call, Class 13, Division 3, market gilts.
start with this blue-headed gill here coming at me. And you can see this gill come down. You know, you think there's a really fresh-made one. She's with the white face, big in her forearm, really open up in her chest. And she carries this thickness all the way back. For me, I think one that's really good in that aspect. The concern I have with her is she wants to roll out that top just a little more on the light, especially that right rear. If we could just square her up there, it would definitely help her quite a bit. It's just a little tentative on the way she drives off that back end. In second, we're going to go with the spotted pig on the far side. I think here's one that you want one that's really clean throated. If you got it here, I think one that is really good in its top line. I think got plenty of muscle to it. I think it's a little bit narrower skull that kind of detracts from it a little bit. It's a little finer bone, but still plenty of product, still plenty of production into that one. That'll be second in the class. The other for this wide belly one here, I think one good level in its design, its overall makeup, and one that's sound enough the way it gets around the ring. Maybe not balances up quite as well as the others above it, but still an awfully nice look for Purple Ribbon too. The white belt is big here. I think big ribs, white base, enough bone to it. And where I have a problem with is just the way it struggles to get around the ring on those back too. But otherwise, putting the front end forward, I think the one that's designed and made right. But if we could get corrected on the way it tracks around, we could go ahead and move it up in the purple. Congratulations. It's all of these. Let's give them around the 12 as well.
From class 12, top purple went to Lena Happy. Second purple went to Aubrey Ewing. Also receiving the purple ribbon was Aubrey Ewing. Receiving the blue was Mason Weisman. Now entering the arena will be our class 13 Division 3 market gilts. These gilts weigh 303 to 314 pounds. Once again, entering the arena is class 13 Division 3 market gilts, weighing 303 to 314 pounds. At the conclusion of this, we will be choosing our class 3 champion reserve champion market gilt from Division 3. So we will need Lena Happy and Aubrey Ewing from class 12. At the conclusion of that, we will be choosing our overall champion, reserve champion market gilt of today's show. For that, we will need Lena Happy with his champion purebred market gilt, Brooke Weiss with her reserve champion purebred market gilt, Dawson Hazeman with his champion market gilt from Division 1, Marcus Faust with his reserve champion market gilt from Division 1, Kaylee Gregory with her champion market gilt from Division 2, Chase Hartman with his reserve champion market gilt from Division 2.
We're going to go with 3 purple dummies. I think there's enough quality in each of these to stay up in that top group. We're going to go ahead and start with this gray-headed pick here. I think here's one that's really good in its lines. I think one that's really sound in the way it moves around the ring. You like the way it tracks from the side profile. Here's one as you get behind it, it still has some dimension, still has some base to it. No, it's not the heaviest muscle one in here, but I think you combine some structure and design and profile with enough muscle that one that comes to the top for me. Second will be the one that straight on the far side. I mean, here's the one with the credibility that, huge top, really descriptive this muscle. I think one that's really stout made, big forearm. I think one, a lot of product to it. Just a little shorter back, maybe than the one we started with. One that's probably a little bigger. Hip definitely has more muscle. My problem is it just needs to track off those back feet just a little bit better for me, especially it doesn't drive very well off that right rear. If we could improve it there, then we could go ahead and move it up. Bell intake here, really fresh made, kind of a big, really good design. One that's probably just a little nose, so a little bit narrower base than maybe the other. But stiff enough product and feel like it's really good enough in its condition to go up in that purple way to do it. Congratulations to these individuals.
Top purple went to Adelaide Ewing. Second purple was received by Owen Gregory. And also receiving a purple was Adelaide Ewing. We'll now be choosing our champion and reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 3. For that, we have from Class 12, Lane Mahaffey and Aubrey Ewing. From Class 13, we have Adelaide Ewing and Owen Gregory. At the conclusion of our selection of the champion and reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 3, we will need the following people back to the show arena for our overall selection of overall champion and reserve champion of today's Market Gilt. For that, we'll need Lane Mahaffey with his champion purebred Market Gilt, Brooke Weiss with her reserve champion purebred Market Gilt, Dawson Haseman with his champion Market Gilt from Division 1, Marcus Faust with his reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 1, Kaylee Gregory with her champion Market Gilt from Division 2, Chase Hartman from his reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 2.
In this heavyweight class, I think two kids definitely deserve to be up here at the top end on these two classes coming out. To me today, there's one in here that shows us just a little more thickness. I think one that's a little wider base and this gray heavy one closest to me. I think one that's got a little more structure to it. Yeah, I'd like to correct those back legs just a tick, but I think it's sound enough for me to go ahead, and I think it's one that we're going to go ahead and move up to the top and be our champion in this division. That's it. Who brings second out of this class? Another one that here has got a lot of good to it. One that's really square enough to me, big enough hip to think of to bring it down here. Sure, it's a little narrower skull, one that's not as heavy structured as some of the others out here, but still nothing that's going to come out second in that class. It's one that kind of combines some things that we're looking for as far as some concave skill. It's got some bone and some structure, and those will be my reserves today.
Our champion Market Gilt today was shown by Lane Mahaffey. Reserve champion Market Gilt was shown by Adelaide Ewing. We will now be choosing our champion and reserve champion Market Gilt for today's show. For that, we have Lane Mahaffey with his champion purebred Market Gilt. We have Brooke Weiss with a reserve champion purebred Market Gilt. Dawson Haseman with his champion Market Gilt from Division 1. Marcus Faust with his reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 1. Kaylee Gregory with her champion Market Gilt from Division 2. Chase Hartman with his reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 2. Lane Mahaffey with his champion Market Gilt from Division 3. And Adelaide Ewing with her reserve champion Market Gilt from Division 3. We will now be having our selection of our champion and reserve champion overall Market Gilts of today's show. We can have Adelaide Ewing report back to the arena with her reserve champion Market Gill from Division 3. Adelaide Ewing, if you could report back to the arena with your reserve champion Market Gill from Division 3.
Well, my congratulations to individuals that made it to the top end of the crossbred division. Let's give them a round of applause. I think they've done an awful good job and desire to come off a good season in this division. I think as we look at these and we look at the lightweight, yes, there needs to be more maturity here, but I think this young lady's got an awfully nice project here. I think one that's got a bright future if she decides to go on with it. One that's just not quite there today as far as to compete with some of these heavier ones, but I sure like a lot of things about this female, and of course she does a great job of getting this pig out for me and seeing it at all times. Got some extension, wide base, plenty of bone on the thing. It's just needs more time to fill out, will help it quite a bit. As we look at the one that's on the far side, I think here's a really wide velvet pig that we like a lot of things about. You know, really one that's wide base coming at you. I think one that's really good through its front end, carrying that much muscle and design. Still one that tracks well enough for me today. A lot of bone under this female. Really an awfully nice one in that weight division. And then we got the group here again. We talk about how good it is to its front end, how fresh made it is. And it's really our big concern is just the way it tracks off those back legs, but still an awfully nice one. Today I think the one that kind of comes together, puts all the pieces together for me, still mass and dimension, still one that's sound enough structurally, still has the bone to it. And like you'll be my champion crossbred again.
Our champion, Margaret Gill, of today's show was shown by Haley Gregory. We will now be choosing our reserve champion overall, Margaret Gill, for today's show.
As we look at reserve in that division, I think that we have one here in that class, I should say. I think we have one here that's very similar in design, and we talked about this. So the one to start with, maybe a little deeper back if you like that on this one here, but still one that's still good for its front end. So good in its lines, it balances up so well, still has a lot of production to it. You'll be my reserve champion as well.
Our reserve champion overall, Market Gill, today was shown by Chase Hartman. This is the first call for Class 14 Division 1 Purebred Market Barrows. First call, Class 15 Division 1 Purebred Market Barrows. First call for Class 16 Division 1 Purebred Market Barrows. First call for Class 14. First call for Class 15. First call for Class 16.
As we compare this crossbred to our purebred spot, I think the spot, again, we've talked about how massive it is and how wide-based it is. Sure, it's a little shorter front end than maybe some that you'd like, but still really puts together well. I think one that tracks really well, and as we remember in that purebred class, one of the better tracking ones that we've had. And we look at the crossbred, and we've talked about this individual, and just a lot of good things about it. Young lady who's a crossbred being another champion. as we look at the reserves as the crossbred out of that division, I think that, again, we've talked about it so many times, you'll be my reserve champion.
Okay, a little correction here from the program. So our champion crossbred market deal for today's show was shown by Kaylee Gregory. Our reserve champion crossbred market deal was shown by Chase Hartman. Those have been deleted from the program. Sorry about that. Then our overall champion market deal for today's show was also shown by Kaylee Gregory. And our reserve champion overall market gilt was shown by Chase Hartman. Sorry about the confusion. Currently in the arena, we have Class 14 Division I Purebred Market Barrows. Second final call for Class 15. Second final call for Class 16. First call for Class 17. First call for Class 18. So in the arena, we have Class 14 Division I Purebred Market Barrows. There is a final call for Class 15 and Class 16. There is a first call for Class 17 and Class 18.
There's only one entry in this class, but really professional, kind of a bird barrel. I think one that's got really tall fronted with an extended to his front end. I think one that's sound enough for me, made enough product to it. We're definitely going to go with the purple on it. I'd like to make it a little heavier structured if we could. It would help him, but still has a really long, really square made from behind. Awfully nice one to go for that purple ribbon. Champion bird.
Top purple was received by Gracie Reynolds. Now entering the arena is our Class 15 Division I Purebred Market Barrows. There is a second and final call out for Class 16.
Yeah, Brad's got a nice Chester barrel. I think one that's good in its overall makeup. I think one that really good for its front end. I think one that has enough squareness and the engine is good behind. Well made. I get just a tick straight on that front shoulder and maybe get a little up over his neck, but still one that's awfully good. It'll be your champion Chester barrel, and I guess the only one. So congratulations, Will.
From Class 15, receiving a purple ribbon was Braden Shapersman. There's a second final call for Class 17 and a second final call for Class 18. Now entering the arena will be Class 16 Division I Purebred Market Barrows Duroc. Once again, there's that final call out for class 17 and class 18. At the conclusion of class 18, we will be choosing our champion and reserve champion purebred market bear.
We're going to go with two purples and one blue in this class. I think as we look at these, I think it's kind of worked itself out for me. We're going to start with the barrel focus. Here's a really fresh made kind of a barrel. And Glenn does a great job of getting this barrel presented and gets his head up and shows his extension to me. One that's really good through his front end, really neat through the way it ties into his shoulder and his blade area. I think one that levels out extremely well, long level hip end, and really athletic the way it moves around the ring. The one in second will be the young man right here. I think here's a really heavy structured one. If you want a lot of bone in one, he's definitely got it. Maybe not as fresh in his appearance as we see in the other one. I think one that you really like into his front end and his face with. I think one that's got plenty of product with. He gets a little shorter in his hip. He gets a little straighter in his hip than the barrel we started with. The one in third will be a blue here. I think one that just needs a little more product, a little more shape down his top, but one that still moves around the ring extremely well. Congratulations to these. Two purple, one blue. Let's give them a round of applause. Nice job.
Top purple from class 16 went to Chase Hartman. Second purple went to Braden Shaversman. Receiving a blue ribbon was Mason Bogey. Now entering the arena is class 17 Division I purebred market barrows. There is a final call out for that class 18 Division I purebred market barrows.
Kenley's got a nice half barrel here. I think one that has enough product to it and enough face width. I think one that has enough production to it. It still is sound enough the way it moves around the ring. It'll definitely be a purple ribbon. It'll be our champion, amateur market barrel. Let's give her a round of applause. Good job.
Receiving top purple in class 17 was Haley Model. Hallie Model. call, Class 19 Division 1 Market Barrows, weighing 185 to 227 pounds. First call, Class 19 Division 1 Market Barrows. Don't forget, while you're on the fairgrounds, that you may vote for the 4-H Council. Eligible voters are anyone that is a Dodge County resident and has a vested interest in the Dodge County 4-H program, or a senior 4-H member. Those ballots are available in the 4-H office. Also,
here's a really long spine, level design, kind of lander's barrel. I think you'd like that. That's really impressive. You'll have some extension, so I think one that you could try like to just square it up coming out of those blades into the top line a bit, but still one that's sound and flexible in the way it gets run. Nothing nice. It'll be a champion race for purple. Congratulations.
Top purple is showing like great in shape as men. There's a second final call out for Class 19 Division 1 Market Barrels, weighing 185 to 227 pounds. Also, if you're in the exhibit hall, check out the 4-H Council's silent auction. That's going on throughout the fair until Sunday. You can pick up a number by the 4-H office in the exhibit hall and place your bids. Also, don't forget the 4-H Council's pancake feed on Sunday morning. You can eat pancakes and then stay for church if you would like. It begins at 8:30. Have a loose German Shepherd type dog on the grounds. If that dog belongs to you, could you please get it on a leash for us? Thank you. We do have a German Shepherd type dog on the loose. If that dog belongs to you, could you please get it on a leash? It's here by the show arena. Again, we do have a German Shepherd type dog that is on the loose here by the show arena. If it is yours, if you could please come and help us get it on a leash, that would be appreciated.
Well, let's give these individuals a round of applause for making it to your final drive in this purebred barrel. I know we have running classes and stuff that come out here, but it's kind of neat to be able to see this variety of purebreds that come out here. And my compliments to these young people as far as getting some of these different breeds in here. And that's, I think that's pretty neat that you can go ahead and have that representation and have enough quality in here to be competitive in this purebred division. I think as we look at these here today, I think we've talked about all of them, and we've talked about the differences in them and the things that we might improve on. The one thing today that I like as far as overall footprint structure for me, I think one that's really big top, really big, really wide base, has got some bone. I think one that you've got to appreciate for that. Maybe gets a little crusty in his top line, but I think one is still good enough in his overall makeup, and then he'll be my champion here. From there it comes down to, I think, between the amp and the Duroc as far as the one that I think comes in second for me. I like both of these. I like their design. The one that I really like for its overall athleticism, the way it can move around the ring, still goodness, the overall height and its makeup, the Duroc would be my reserve champion today.
Our champion purebred market barrel for today's show was shown by Brayden Schaefer-Smith. Our reserve champion purebred market barrel for today's show was shown by Chase Hartman. Now in the arena will be Class 9 Division 1 market barrels weighing 185 to 227 pounds. This is the first call for Class 20 Division 2 market barrels weighing 231 to 236 pounds. Entering the arena is Class 19 Division 1 market barrels. These barrels weigh 185 to 227 pounds. Second and final call, Class 20 Division 2 market barrels weighing 231 to 236 pounds. Don't forget, Swine Showman, that the Fair Board is asking that you get the little stickers, ribbon stickers to put on your stall cards so that visitors to our fair can see how your projects did. The metal signs, they would also ask that you put those up and then turn them back into the 4-H office on Sunday when you check out.
In this lightweight division, this will also be your division champion because we have just one class in this division. We're going to start with the barrel here to my left. I think one that comes in top relatively easy for me with his overall extension, really a long, level, fast kind of a barrel, big hip, wide base, still plenty sound for me to go ahead and start the class. The one except will be the young lady in the center here. It just gets a little bit shorter neck. I think just a little shorter back, shorter design. You know, I think it wants to fill out that gland a little bit more in that high flank, but I think one that's really good is over on Makeup as far as a lot of product in there, a lot of dimensions, just a little smaller, shorter package. The blue hip one here, I think here's one that's still great. It still needs some time to fill out, put some cover on it a little bit, and get that loin filled out. But you see that it does have a little bit of shape there to it. You see that it's got some base to it, it's got some bone to it. Sure, it might be a little straight off the front end, but I think there's enough overall that's included in that to go up with the blue ribbon too. Congratulations to Reed.
Now entering the arena, we have Class 20 Division II market barrows. These barrows weigh from 231 to 236 pounds. This is a first call, Class 21. First call, Class 21. Second and final call, Class 21, Division II, market barrels weighing 240 to 255 pounds. Second and final call, Class 21.
in this class has definitely enough quality here. We're leaving them all in the purples, and I think they're definitely deserving of that. We're going to start with the black pig coming at me here. I think one that really combines the things we're looking for. Freshness, really good smooth grain, and depth extension. Comes out of those blades in that top line extremely well. Carries that thickness all the way back. And a really distinct top line. I think here's one also that's super wide base from behind. And yet it's very athletic the way it's moving around the ring. And also a nice one to start with. I think from there, then it's kind of got some give and take on this. I think there's some differences in these. We're going to go with this here. Chromed up pig here. I think here's one that where it really excels is, you get to this, got a lot of shape on his top. You get behind, you huge hip, a lot of dimension to it. Still good fronted on it, still sound enough for me to say. The one in third, here it is. This is the other one we were considering pushing up there in the second hole. Again, one's got a lot of shape to it, one has got a lot of bone to it. It probably doesn't have as much outer stifle, maybe as much dimension from behind, just a little further hip than maybe some of the others, but still an awfully nice on the third hole. The one on the far side here, or the one in the middle coming across, here's got plenty of product. The one that's utility as well, it should be a high percentage of lean. I do like that about it. It probably doesn't tie together his top line. It doesn't have one adjusted quite as well. You know, it doesn't come off those back legs as well as we'd like to see it, but still one has plenty of product to it. Congratulations to these. Take a while.
Receiving top purple in class 20 was Rita Hartman. Second purple also went to Rita Hartman. Receiving purple ribbons were Braden Shapersman and Owen Gregory. Now entering the arena is our class 21, Division 2 Market Barrels, weighing 240 to 255 pounds. This is the first call, class 22, Division 3 Market Barrels, weighing 263 to 277 pounds. First call, class 22, Division 3 Market Barrels, weighing 263 to 277 pounds. This is the second and final call for that Class 22 Division 3 Market Barrels that weigh 263 to 277 pounds. Final call for Class 22 Division 3.
We're going to go with all triples in this class. I think there's enough overall quality from top to bottom in the group. We'll figure that. We're going to start with this calico pig here coming at me. I think here's one that's really good in its overall design. Just a lot of production in this barrel. A lot of rib shape. I think one that's wide base, big top, really just took this muscle. An awful nice one to start the class with. In second, we're going to go with the one right behind it here, this off velvet pig. I think here's one again, really level top. I think one that has enough muscle. You can see there's some shape there to it down the top and some dimension behind. Probably not the rib shape, probably not as deep in that forehead that we see in the one we started with. Still an awful nice one in second. And as we look at the other two here, I think plenty of product in both of these. Maybe don't balance out not as quite as neat in their lines that we see, but I think with the amount of production in them and the mass and it's still sound enough to deserve purple. Congratulations to all these that go out. Nice job.
Once again, there is a... Oh. We'll now be choosing our champion and reserve champion market barrel from Division 2. For that, we have from Class 20, Leah Hartman and Leah Hartman. And from Class 21, we have Kaylee Gregory and Brooke Weiss.
Really nice barrels in this division. I think if we look at this black barrel, we really appreciate how complete he is in his overall design, his balance, and really good in his line. One that's really fresh in his overall makeup. No, he's not the biggest one that we've seen today. He's not the heaviest muscle one we've seen today, but he does have plenty of muscle. He's super sound in the way he gets around the ring and very athletic. I think an awfully nice one out of that class. The one to come out of the last class, I think here's one that's definitely got plenty of product. Here's a really big hip, really wide base one. I think one that's got a lot of production, still really good through its front end, still an awfully nice one there. The one that kind of comes together these days, though, that's so complete in its overall made, up in its design, going to be my champion of this division. As we look at second out of that class, I think here's one that maybe gets a little shorter neck, maybe than some of the others we've seen. I think one that probably doesn't reach out probably as well as some of the others, but still one that's too top. Really finding his muscling down his top. I think one that's wide base. The one that I like today, though, is the calico pig. I think here's one that's just huge, top, with big dimension, big hip, and awfully nice one. He'll be reserve champion this division. Yeah.
Our champion market barrel from Division 2 was shown by Leah Hartman. Our reserve champion market barrel from Division 2 was shown by Kaylee Gregory. Now entering the arena will be our Class 22 Division 3 market barrels that weigh from 263 to 277 pounds. This will be a first call for Class 23. First call, Class 23. Market barrels weighing 280 to 295 pounds. There is a second and final call for Class 23 Division 3 market barrels weighing 280 to 295 pounds. Once again, second call, Class 23 Division 3 market barrels weighing 280 to 295 pounds.
Again, something I said on especially on the top end of this class. I think we're going to go with 4 purples and 1 blue. One we're going to start with is this mostly black picture. I think one that really balances up extremely well. He got an instinct, so I think one that's really level on his top line, really squared on his top. He's able to turn his nice on his top line. One that's still athletic enough to get around the ring. No, it's probably not the tallest front one in here. It's probably not the biggest play one in here, but I think when you combine his muscle and structure, it's the one that comes to the top for me. And second, we're going with the unmatched favorite right here, closest to me. I think here's one that's a heavy bone kind of take. I think one that's really big top, really square made, a lot of muscle packed into this barrel. Maybe one that just a tick higher, his top line is just a little bit, but I think it's acceptable enough, still enough for a nice one to go in second. And then as we look at the other purple ribbon ones, we've got the blue hip one here. I think one that's a young lady did a great job of presenting it. The good thing about this one here, though, is this. It just gets a little bit narrower than the other ones that we have out here, but still an awfully nice one that I can see that purple ribbon to. And lady to my right here, here's another awfully nice one again. Maybe one that's coming out of heavy structure or doesn't tie together quite as well as that one done as some of the others, but still an awfully nice one. Definitely deserve it in the purple ribbon group. Then in our blue big here, I think one that, if we could correct it on those back plates and say it sure would help us, I think one that gets a little finer bone and one that doesn't have the strip muscling on it, but still enough overall muscle to get in that blue ribbon group. Congratulations to these that go out.
Top purple in class 22 went to Gracie Reynolds. Second purple went to Marcus Faust. Also receiving purple ribbons were Brooke Reese and Dawson Haseman. Receiving a blue was Mason Goschel. Now entering the arena will be our class 23 Division 3 markup barrows. These weigh from 280 to 295 pounds. At the conclusion of class 23, we will choose our champion market barrow from Division 3. For that, we will have Gracie Reynolds and Marcus Faust from class 22 also.
Got some awfully good ones in the top end. We're going to go with this Belted barrel in the center of the ring here. A super fresh made gentleman barrel. I think one that's really white-faced, really good in his overall makeup. Just an awfully nice one. Especially carrying this way, really good in his condition. The way he is today, an awfully good one. Second one this here, really good pig, I think. Here's one you really like how tall funded this barrel is. You know, he's really big in his forearm, really good to his front end. Still has some shape down his top. Maybe gets a little straighter off those back legs and doesn't track quite as well as athletic as the one we started with. But still an offer in that coming second. And third, we're going with this white velvet pig here, another purple. I think here's one that's good enough design, enough product to it. Doesn't probably overwhelm you as far as overall mass and base width, but still I think also good to stay in that purple red and blue. The black-headed pig on the far side, I think here's one that if we could get this pig to just walk a little bit better, get pretty straight off those front legs. I think one that gets pretty tight to his back end. I think if we could correct it there, we could move it up. Congratulations to these as they go on.
Our top purple was received by Mason Haseman. Second purple went to Owen Gregory. Also receiving a purple ribbon was William Faust. Receiving a blue was Aubrey Ewing. We will now be choosing our champion and reserve champion market barrel from Division 3. For that, we have from Class 22, Gracie Reynolds and Marcus Faust. From Class 23, we have Mason Haseman and Owen Gregory. At the conclusion of that selection, we will need the following hogs back so that we can choose our champion and reserve champion crossbreed market barrel of today's show. For that, we will need Chase Hartman from Division 1 with hogs 7857. Chase Hartman, reserve champion market barrel from Division 1 with hogs 7859. From Division 2, we will need Leah Hartman with hogs 7856 and Kaylee Gregory with hog 3157. So once again, we need the following crossbred barrows to come back to the arena. We need Chase Hartman from Division 1 with his champion and reserve champion market barrows, numbers 7857 and 7859. We'll need Leah Hartman back from Division 2 with her champion barrow, 7856. Kaylee Gregory back with her reserve champion, 3157. Following the selection of the crossbred, we will need Braden Shaversman with his Chester Purebred Champion Market Barrow and Chase Hartman back with his Reserve Champion Purebred Market Barrow.
Very, very competitive in the heavyweight division. I like both of these barrels. I like so much about each one of them. And I think that if we look at them, there's definitely differences. We're looking at 20 plus pounds difference in weight, but they're both carrying their weight extremely well. I think they're both designed well. I think they both have plenty of muscle to them. And it's kind of a point which way you'd like to go with them. To me today, though, the one that I really like is I really like the lines of this barrel. I like the front end on it. I like how it's really big sound, really squirrel made, and the one that's really tracked extremely well for me, young lady, you'll be my champion heavyweight.
Our champion market barrel from Division 3 was shown by Gracie Reynolds. We will now be choosing our reserve champion market barrel.
As we look at the second out of that class, again, an awfully good barrel in that class. And it was a very competitive class that we had. You liked a lot of things about this one also. One thing that I'd like to correct him on is goes back to, I think if we could just make him a little more relaxed in those pass turns and drive off a little more on leg would help him, but still an awfully good barrel. The one that I think matches up with my top one is the one that come out of the other class, and then on the plus, the reserve champion of this division.
Our reserve champion market barrel from Division 3 was shown by Mason Hazeman. We will now be choosing our champion crossbred market barrel for today's show. For that, we'll have from Division 1, Chase Hartman. From Division 2, Leah Hartman. And from Division 3, Gracie Reynolds. So we will be choosing our champion and reserve champion crossbred market barrel for today's show.
As we look at our crossbred division here in our barrels, I think three excellent ones at their weight division. I think ones that come together extremely well. I like these barrels. I like all three of them. You can pick and choose which one's your favorite. But the one I like today, I think it's just really complete in its overall design and its balance and the way it's put together. And really will be my champion crossbred.
If we could have Braden Schaeferson and Chase Hartman come up with their purebred market barrels so we can choose our champion and reserve champion barrel for today's show.
As we bring out this reserve in the heavyweight division, again, super massive kind of a barrel. He's big top, he's really square, he's carried that squareness all the way back, and a lot of dimension to it. Really at that 290 weight range, I think one that's carrying his weight extremely well. I think his condition's right, I think his sound is right. He'll be a reserve champion this year.
Our champion crossbred barrel was shown by Gracie Reynolds. Reserve champion crossbred market barrel was shown by Mason Hazeman. We are now choosing our overall champion reserve champion barrel for today's show. For that, we have Braden Shapersman and Chase Hartman with their champion and reserve champion purebred market barrels. And we have Gracie Reynolds and Mason Hazeman with their champion and reserve champion crossbred barrels. If we could have Kaylee Gregory and Chase Hartman to the show arena with their overall champion and reserve champion market gilts, so that we can show so we can choose our supreme champion market swine of today's show. Currently in the arena, we are choosing our champion and the reserve champion market bearers for today's show. That is not printed in the program. From there, we will go and choose our supreme champion and reserve supreme champion market swine for today's show.
Well, we start coming down to the end here. My thanks to Dodge County for allowing me to sort through your hogs today, and I also work with not only just a great group of livestock, but also work with a great group of kids. He's just got a fabulous family group, and I tell you, it's just been done this for quite a few years, and you know, it just never disappoints me the fact that we have so many good young people participating in these programs, and yours is some of the best. I mean, they're so professional in the way they're out here. They've been so kind to me, and you know, I really appreciate that, you know, because you know, we don't find that every day around in a lot of areas and a lot of places, and so it's always a joy to be able to have that opportunity to work with this type of individuals, and then for them to bring out their projects that they've worked so hard all summer long trying to get them to this point. I talked to a gentleman yesterday, and they showed a lot in Kansas, and they won a lot down there, and he said this is our last year, and they had 2 pigs, and he said it felt so good because they only bought 2 pigs, and they showed 2 pigs, and he said it worked out so good for us. And he was so happy that, you know, that they could get up to the ring, and you know, we can take that same attitude and say, okay, here they are today, and some of you, I'm sure, have thought, well, you know, my pig didn't walk quite well enough today. It wasn't like that yesterday, and maybe one that didn't want to respond quite as well to the whip. But, you know, that's why you go through a lot of hard work on the summer, and then you find out what you really have once you get here. And these young people have done a great job of presenting you with a lot of good livestock. I think we just need to give them all a really big round of applause for the job that they've done. Also, thanks to the crew, the ring people, the committee that helped put on the show, and also a special thank you to the sponsors that helped put the show on and provide the awards and the incentives for these young people. Greatest place you could put your money, people. I think as businesses, as individuals, as breeders, or whatever, just a great place to put your money and support these young people that we willing for all their hard work. As we get down to our barrel show here, I think 2 of them excellent representatives of the purebreds and also the crossbreds. The one that really comes together extremely well for me is your crossbred for your champion today. We bring the reserve out in that class. And, you know, here's a barrel that she's up in the 290s. And just look how fresh she is. And look at the way he just strolls across the ring. And you know, the way he carries that weight. Still has some production to him. You know, he's not that real extreme one or anything. Just so complete in his design. You'll be my reserve champion.
Our champion barrel, overall barrel for today's show was shown by Gracie Reynolds. Reserve champion overall barrel is shown by Mason Hazeman. We will now be choosing our Supreme Champion Market Swine and Reserve Supreme Champion Market Swine for today's show. From that, we have from our overall champion market gilt shown by Kaylee Gregory, our reserve champion overall market gilt shown by Chase Hartman, our overall champion barrel shown by Gracie Reynolds, and our reserve champion market barrel shown by Mason Hazeman. So currently in the arena, we are choosing our overall Supreme Champion Market Swine for today's show. For that, we have Kaylee Gregory with her overall market gilt and Gracie Reynolds with her overall market barrel. Just a few housekeeping things before we are finished today. Make sure those metal plaques get on your stalls. Make sure the ribbon stickers get on your stall cards.
Well, as we bring the champion market field and champion market barrel on here, I'm still pleased with what we've come to purpose to the top for us. And I will say that there was an awful lot of good ones behind that pushed these all the way. And it gets down to some little things. And you have so many good ones and to look at and to evaluate. And these two individuals that come to the top here, I'm still pleased with them. I think they still held together extremely well. I think it's very close, and depending on where you want to put your emphasis, the one today, I think, is just really dimensional. I think one that's really the best in the tournament, and really is the other in my country.
Our Supreme Champion Market Swine for today's show was shown by Kaylee Gregory. Congratulations, Kaylee.
Another really good female coming out here and to be competitive for your overall Supreme Reserve Champion. Really, there's not a lot of holes in it. I think it's an awfully good one to come out. Those are very similar in their design. I really have a tough time of not giving a piece of this to this barrel. He'll be your Reserve Supreme Champion.
Our village chicken champion Marcus Swine was thrown by Gracie Reynolds. Let's put our hands together one more time for our Judge Gary Kubicek for being here today and working with our 4-H and FFA exhibitors. Another big round of applause to our superintendents and our ring help as well. Make sure on Sunday that those wood chips get out into the center aisles to help the fair board in cleanup. And make sure you get those ribbon stickers on your stop cards and your metal plaques on your stalls. Make sure those metal plaques make it back to the 4-H office on Sunday when fair is over. Thank you everyone for coming. We look forward to seeing you in 2026. Best of luck at the State Fair in Exarban if you're going on to compete in those, and have a safe school year. Judging from 12 to 1:30, and the actual judging starts at 2 here in the arena. Make sure you grab some friends and make a team, or just come and judge solo. It's a great time. Also, don't forget if you're a showmanship winner in the senior division, then you'll have that round robin competition on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. That is so we can send a representative